This video is sponsored by Caleb and Brown. They help their clients buy, sell, and swap cryptocurrencies with a 24/7 personal broker service. Sign up today. Now let's go on to another one that probably caused the rise in Bitcoin, which is the Federal Reserve announced a 0.5 interest rate cut, and Bitcoin soared above $60,000 probably because of it. Interest rates are coming down faster than the market had expected earlier this month. The Federal Reserve announced on Wednesday that it will lower its benchmark interest rate by 50 basis points, marking the central bank's first cut since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, immediately after the announcement, Bitcoin's price skyrocketed back above $60,000, while the S&P only shot up 0.7%, which really shows which asset you rather hold during these times. But the central bank said that it has gained greater confidence that inflation is heading back down to 2%, even though it remains somewhat elevated. Now, job gains have slowed down as well, and the unemployment rate has moved up, but remains low, says the Fed. They also added that this month's meeting was one of the first in years when Fed's next policy decision was truly a toss-up for odd makers. Now, hours before the announcement, interest rate traders priced in the odds of a 50 basis point cut at 65% versus 35% odds for a 25-point cut, which was usually the ones that always happen. But according to CME FedWatch, meanwhile, crypto bettors on Polymarket had the odds at 43% for the 50 basis points and 57% for the 25 basis points. Now, why is this good for Bitcoin? Well, lower rates are generally seen as a bullish sign for Bitcoin since it allows investors to borrow money more cheaply to buy a risky asset. It also increased the money supply, which is generally bullish for scarce assets like gold and or Bitcoin. So that is why it's usually a good thing for it. Now, that said, the former Fed Vice Chair Richard Clarida warned that the Financial Times last week that a non-standard 50 basis point cut could spook the market into thinking something is wrong, but they can trigger the view of, wow, what do they know that we don't know, he said at the time. So is it? I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff that this type of rate cut, it wasn't likely to happen all the time, but it did happen now, and what a time for us to do it. So yeah, so two good news articles for Bitcoin. Yeah, Trump buying the burgers and the rate cut happened because again, it allows investors to borrow more at a cheaper price. So kudos. I wonder what it'll be next time. Just got to wait and find out.